What's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 24 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we got predictions for Team of the Week, week number 2 in MUT 24. Now, if you guys enjoy this video, if you like it, if it helps you out, make sure you go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Shows a lot of support on the channel, helps the videos get noticed. Also, if you're brand new here, you're searching on YouTube for MUT 24 content, whether it's how to make coins, how to get free players, how to build your ultimate team, you found the right channel for everything. Stay a while, click that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on as well so you guys are alerted when we drop additional videos. Let's get right on into it. Now, before we get into the predictions, let's talk about the format of Team of the Week for this year. Number one, I don't expect us to see a +1 in overall just yet. Maybe on Thursday when the brand new Gridiron Guardians promo drops, but for now, I think we get 88 overall Team of the Week cards, so that means the heroes would be 85s, the lower overall cards would be 81s and 79s. Now, also assuming that EA doesn't switch up the format from what they did in week number 1, you can pre-build 88 or even 85 overall Team of the Week cards. You can see right now I have enough pieces to complete the Tyreek Hill set if I wanted to, which means those same pieces should be able to complete whoever gets the 88 overall on offense or defense. Because if we use last week, for example, you can see that you can put preseason cards or Team of the Week, week number 1 cards into this set. So if they keep that same format for week number 2, that means you should be able to put preseason 81s or 85s into the set, or even week 1s. So if you want to pre-build, not knowing who these cards are going to be, and some will probably be revealed on Twitter tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, but if you want to pre-build it in anticipation of getting one of these 88s, you should be able to do it right now. One other thing to point out, there's only so many Team of the Week cards to go around. We're going to see one player on offense and defense at the 79, 81, 85, and 88 overall, so there's usually going to be more good performances than there are cards to go out, so just expect people to be snubbed. It is what it is at this point, but let's go over my predictions. We're going to start at quarterback, and we have Kirk Cousins, who, you know, people who lose games can get cards, and he could be a candidate for an 85 overall. He did have a really good game against my Eagles there with 364 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, and of course 1 L as well, but he might get an upgrade. 85 overall will be my prediction. Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones led the Giants in a 21-point comeback. Cardinals fumbled the bag so hard there. Danny Dimes, 321 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, and then also 59 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. He's another player that could likely get an 85 overall and would probably have pretty decent speed. I don't know about the throwing attributes, but he has some wheels there if you like the mobile quarterbacks. You already know this one was coming, and he better get a card or I'm going to be upset. It's DeAndre Swift. On Thursday night, he had 175 rushing yards that led the entire league, and then 1 touchdown. He probably could have had 2 others, but Jalen Hurts stole it from him. So he has the 83 overall Season 1 Field Pass card. I would hope that he would get the 88 overall for the performance he had. And one other running back that's worth mentioning is Raheem Mostert, another Eagles legend, kinda played for them in the preseason. He's always known to have really fast cards. I mean, look at his 77 overall gold. It has 83 speed. I think he would fall somewhere between either an 81 or an 85 overall if they give him a card. And in week number 2, he had 121 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns for the Dolphins win over the Patriots. I think Mike Evans is potentially the player, the most likely player that could steal the 88 overall from DeAndre Swift. Now, also remember, we're going to get 2 LTDs. One of them will be a current week, current season player that had a good week number 2. So maybe Mike Evans gets the LTD and DeAndre Swift gets the set card, or vice versa. But Mike Evans had 6 catches for 171 yards and 1 touchdown. Bucks really surprising me. Baker Mayfield too. I hate to admit it. Eagles play them on Monday night. Hopefully we can take care of their little 2-game win streak, but they got to be one of the most surprising teams in the NFL in my opinion. Another wide receiver that had a good week number 2 but had an L as well is Keenan Allen. Currently has an 83 overall, so he could go 85 or 88. I think Mike Evans would deserve that over him, being that they're the same position, but he had 8 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we just got to mention Puka. If this dude keeps playing at the level that he's playing, I'm going to have to figure out how to say his last name correctly, because this dude's a baller, and my dumb self took a bet on him under 4.5 catches for week number 2. I thought there's no way he's going to do it again. What does he do? He has 15 catches for 147 yards. They did lose. He didn't have any touchdowns, but I still think like this guy deserves a card at some point. Even if it's a 79, maybe they give him an 81. Do you guys think he's going to keep this up the entire season, or do you think teams will start to key down and focus on him and limit those receptions? Regardless, he's having a really good start to the season. On defense, we're going to start with Alex Highsmith, who to me deserves an 88 overall for his week 2 performance. Now, last week, we saw Jordan Whitehead on Monday Night Football get 3 interceptions in one singular game, and he got 0 Team of the Week cards, and that will be a good test, that plus Alex Highsmith, to see if EA is just totally going to neglect players on Monday Night Football, regardless of the fact that they have Tuesday to create these cards because the content doesn't come out until Wednesday afternoon. Listen to Alex Smith's stat line here.
Who?
7 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. He literally did everything, and they won the game. If he doesn't get a card, there is probably no hope for Monday Night Football players for the entire year, because that performance plus Jordan Whitehead in week 1 with the 3 interceptions, I mean, how do those not deserve cards? I never know if it's Danielle Hunter, Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter is what we're going to go with here. He had a really good week 2 as well. He had 3 sacks in week 2, along with the 1 L that he also received along with Kirk Cousins, but maybe they give him an 88 overall. I don't think he'd get an 85 and go +1, so we'll see how EA handles that, if they even give him a card. Xavien Howard, my man always gets disrespected. I mean, look at his core card. They gave him a 78 gold. I don't watch like the Dolphins or him a ton, but even I know that that's just not right. Now, he didn't have the greatest week 2, but he was one of 21 players who had 1 interception in week number 2, and probably the most notable name. So can they give the guy at least an 85 overall? Maybe an 88. He was my prediction, my original prediction for the 88 overall, until Alex Highsmith did what he did last night, but we shall see. And then Trey Brown is another guy who had a Alex Highsmith-like stat line minus the tackles. He had 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. And remember, the Seahawks won walk-off win against Detroit. So, you know, what card do we see him get? Because he should get one as well. Maybe a 79, maybe an 81, maybe an 85, but he's a candidate for a card. And then we close out defense with Shaq Barrett, who also had a really incredible day. I think he maybe gets the 85 overall, but he had 1 sack, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown. He could also be a candidate for the LTD. And speaking of LTDs, again, they switched up the format on us last week. I'm assuming they're going to continue to keep it this way for the duration of the season. We will get 1 LTD based off of a player in this season who had a good week number 2, but we're also going to be looking at another LTD for a player that likely is a current day player, but had a good week 2 in a previous season, anything prior to this year. And here's what I came up with. So number 1, and we're in need of some running backs. Hopefully DeAndre Swift gets a card, but Derrick Henry in 2021 had 182 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Also in 2021, Mike Edwards, who was with the Bucks, now with the Chiefs, had 2 interceptions in 1 game and also 2 touchdowns. Unsure if he returned both of those interceptions for touchdowns. Maybe Bucks fans can check in and let me know, but 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns is pretty good. I don't think Josh Allen actually gets a card, but I'm going to mention it anyway. In 2020, he had 415 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Being that he's the cover athlete of this year's game, I think they save him for a bigger, better promo and probably something with a higher overall than an 88, seeing that his core elite has an 86. Same thing's probably going to go for Myles Garrett, but in 2019, he did have 3 sacks in 1 game, so that's a pretty good performance. And then in 2018, again, same thing applies because Mahomes has an 86 already. You can't ignore this one. In 2018, 326 passing yards and 6 touchdowns all in 1 game. Another thing to maybe keep in mind is that they do give a second LTD for a player who had a prior season's performance but maybe isn't in the league as well. So maybe we do see the return of legends. I guess we'll all find that out tomorrow morning on GMM when all cards are revealed. And remember, 1 teaser tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Twitter. Let me know if I left anybody off the list, who got snubbed, who needs a Team of the Week card. Leave it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. My name is Popular Stranger, and I'm out. Peace.